and welcome to chapter 93 of Memoirs of a White Guy. We're really starting to rack up some eps now, like 93. That's close to 100. I don't care who you ask, alright? That is close to 100. I mean, probably if you ask your 93-year-old, they'll be like, no, I don't want to be 100 because then I'll probably be dead. But, I mean, episode-wise, that's only 7 weeks away, alright, from episode 100, which means we do need to get thinking. I mean, I need to get thinking, but I like, offsetting some of the responsibility to you guys, and mainly because I don't really care, but a few people have asked me during the week, what are we going to do for episode 100 of the podcast? People are like, hey man, what's the plan? Why are you guys so organized? Why are you guys thinking so far ahead? Oh my god, I just got a message. This is why I put my phone on Amy. Oh, okay, sorry, I was reading the message. I said Amy. Okay, this is why I put my phone on airplane mode, alright? This is so distracting. Lewis just sent a message into a group chat that we have for the radio show. Hey guys, imagine if Amy Shark's name was Amy Shrek. See, that's why I need to put my phone on airplane mode and need new friends. But shit, imagine if her name was Amy Shrek. Tell them all I said swamp. So, what was I talking about? God, I'm so easily distracted, which is why I can't have my phone not in airplane mode, or I'm like, ooh, Amy Shrek, and then talk about that for 3 hours though. Man. What was I saying? Okay. Episode 100. Alright. People will be like, yeah, what are we going to do for episode 100? Maybe we could get Amy Shrek on. Not Amy Shark. But maybe we could get Amy Shrek on to tell them all something. I don't know what I want to do for episode 100. Like, what do you guys want to do? We could do a lot. Hey, here's what got sent to me, okay? A few people on Snapchat were like, yeah, episode 100, man. It's coming up. One guy just goes, you better start thinking about it, because he knows I won't. You guys know that I haven't thought about that, and you're correct, right? It's 7 weeks away. I don't even know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, right? I live in the moment, alright? I live in the present. Who's thinking about 7 weeks from now? That's so long away, alright? I think about, like, stuff in advance for maybe, like my tour, I think about in advance. That's, like, the only thing I really plan. Actually, Emily and I just booked a trip for Thailand in, like, September sometime. And she's like, oh, quick, we got to book flights. And I'm like, it's in September. It's July. It's not even September yet, and we've booked a flight. I'll book a flight the week before something. A few days before. Oh, but you got to pay extra. So, well, yeah. Yeah, that sucks. And I always regret being disorganized, but man, I just live in the moment, alright? I don't like that in life you get punished for living in the now. Oh, now my home phone's ringing. Can you guys hear that? Probably not. Shut up. I wish I could put my home phone on airplane mode. Why do I have a home phone? Just unplug it from the wall. That's airplane mode for a home phone. Imagine if you took your home phone on an airplane. You couldn't, because it can't leave the wall. Dude, who still has a home phone? No one calls us on that anymore, right? Our grandparents used to call us, right? But now no one calls us on that. There is not a single person who actually, if they want to contact anyone in our family, who's like, I'll dial the home phone. My uncles and aunties, they're all texting, they're all mobiling, alright? Everyone's mobiling. It's 2018. Who's still like punching in a home phone number? I don't even know people's phone numbers. Like, someone asked me the other day, oh, what's Emily's phone number? Because it was like Mike. We were pranking Emily on the radio show about something because she wouldn't quit the gym, right? So we're like trying to call her, pretending to be from Anytime Fitness. And Mike's like, what's Emily's phone number? And I didn't have my phone on me. And I'm like, I don't know, I was like, I'll have to get my phone. And he goes, what, you don't know your girlfriend's phone number? I was like, mate, I never know my phone number. You just hit call. Like, who looks at... Like, I remember there was a period in my life where I knew my friends' home phone numbers. where I was like, oh, I'm going to call Stefan, and I'd punch in his home phone number without looking, because like that, before like mobile phones, I remember there was one period of my life where I would remember phone numbers, and I haven't recited a phone number in years. Don't plan to, don't need to, alright? What the fuck was what was I talking about? My home phone rang, Amy Shrek, episode 100. Alright, episode 100. Yeah, we could do a live podcast. Oh, you were talking about me not planning ahead. Yeah, I hate it. Did I finish this thought? Dude, must be so erratic to listen to. Did I finish my point where I was like, I hate being punished by airlines? I don't think I did. I hate being punished by airlines for living in the now. Alright? On my tour, I like book shit last minute. Like, oh, no flights available. Oh, more expensive because you left it till the last minute. If anything, you should be thanking me for filling up your plane last minute. Alright? Don't charge me extra. I'm the one doing God's work, you know, giving you guys business, alright? Oh, but these people are organised. Yeah, they're boring people. Who organises a Jetstar flight to Sydney 3 months before, right? If you're not booking that within a week, you're weird, alright? Why are you so organised? Oh, I've got my little diary and it says Jetstar flight, must book that. Dude, live in the now, alright? Be a bit present in life. Put your phone on airplane mode and don't book a flight. Alright, that's what I do. My airplane mode has become my life. I know I talk about it all the time on the podcast now for some weird reason. But like, airplane mode, I just do it all the time. Sometimes, I just like, put on airplane mode and I'm like, oh, that's cheeky. Because I know I'm going to get a call from someone at work, the radio station, usually about the radio show. Like, I get contacted by, like, people outside that. Like, I went to this audition thing the other day. I'll get to that later. But, like, I just always get contacted, right? Like, probably, like, every half an hour. So, if I actually want to watch a TV show, like, with my girlfriend or do anything for more than 30 minutes, I just put my phone in airplane mode and I fucking throw it. I just toss it. Hopefully onto something soft, but I just throw it. And then I lose it and I have to go find it later, but the feeling, the relief of literally releasing your phone and all your problems that go with it. Give it a go, guys. If you ever want to be productive, airplane mode that bad boy. Alright? It's amazing. It's liberating and it's just one of Luke's handy productivity tips. You're welcome. But yeah, episode 100. We could do a live podcast. I guess we'd have to have a vote in the group of like which state I do it in, because obviously like Melbourne would be financially better for me, but then I know that like heaps of people listen from Brisbane and Sydney. I mean, East Coast is preferred because again it's a lot cheaper. Adelaide and Perth, look, I'll be honest, it won't be Perth. Perth's expensive and you know, I'm sorry Perth, that's a long way to go to do a fun fact. It's going the entire way across the country. I live in Melbourne, so the entire way across the country just to yell a fun fact. Actually, that sounds something like I need to do. That sounds maybe the way to do it. Maybe what's the furthest place away from Melbourne? Maybe I do the live podcast there to like some miners in Broome or something like that. Or maybe I like just fly overseas and pay $2,000, lose all my life savings, and then yell fun facts in somewhere. But yeah, we can maybe try and organise a live podcast. But you know, that doesn't have to be the only thing. What do you guys want to do for episode 100? All right, message me during the week. I'll make like a poll in the Facebook group. I'll add a few of your options in there, seeing what you guys are feeling. Think outside the box. All right, we've done a live podcast before, and it was finding a Peter Pigeon. I mean, that kind of came about a bit organically, but hey, if you know, like we could go to the museum all together and do a live podcast and see if there's any fun facts there. You know what I mean? There's lots of stuff. Someone actually suggested we should do a podcast. Luke should have a podcast meet and greet at Panic at the Disco show in October in Melbourne. That's another thing I want to talk about. There's so many Panic at the Disco fans just coming out of the woodwork. Ever since I came out, right, apparently I was this voice for the voiceless, and all these other in the closet Panic at the Disco fans were just waiting for someone else to say it, alright? Because I've been contacted by probably, I'm going to go with 300 people. Maybe more. Like, it's every day, right? Going, man, I love Panic at the Disco. I can't believe you like them. I know, right? How good are they? No one else likes them. No, that was 2 weeks ago when no one else liked them. Apparently everyone does now. As soon as one person admits it, everyone's just a sheep and is like, oh, do we like Panic at the Disco now? Okay, I'll give them a listen. Man, make up your mind. Do you like them or do you not? Anyway, so that's the thing that happened. I think I've made Panic at the Disco cool again amongst like a hardcore subgroup of majority like white teenagers in Melbourne and along the east coast of Australia. That's really like my core demographic, and I don't know, you're welcome, Panic at the Disco, alright? They should I've given them so much free promotion on the radio. Like, it's got to the point now where if you're listening to the show, Lewis tries to plug our Facebook page and the podcast at the end of the show, like on radio, and I just start plugging Panic at the Disco's tour. I'm like, yeah, October 13th, Hisense Arena, check them out. I think it's sold out, but, you know, you can catch some on Gumtree. You're welcome, guys, alright? I'm just trying to be a fan, alright? And I'd appreciate it if you guys have radio shows that get broadcast to thousands of people, if you plug my tour on it for free, alright? That'd be great. What goes around comes around, you know? I feel like Panic at the Disco should start dropping me in interviews now. Like, next time they're on Alan, he, you know, oh, by the way, Luke Kidgell's not coming to America, but when he does, just check it out. I'll be like, yeah, cheers, boys. You know, it goes both ways, alright? I can't keep plugging them for free for much longer. I'm gonna have to get something in return eventually from Panic at the Disco. But I'm just gonna stay here waiting. Yeah, so I mentioned earlier that I had an audition, right? I had this audition, and I've never been for any sort of audition. It was for a TV role on Channel 10 in some show. I'm not allowed to say the name of it because there's like confidentiality agreements or whatever. But anyway, it's like this new show on Channel 10 that's coming out, and I think it's like a comedy/drama. And this casting director like just hit me up and was like, hey man, watch your videos. I think you'd be cool for this role. Come in, we'll film you. And I was like, yeah, I mean, okay. Let's think, I've never really had any desire or even thought about acting or being on TV. Like, I'll go on TV if it's like me, like as in Luke. I'll go on as Luke Kidgell, like, you know, on a panel show or something like that, of course. But I guess I never really thought about like, oh, comedians like do acting sometimes as well. I'm not a good actor, right? That's why like I feel like the best content that I make is just me being me, man. Again, I live in the now. I live in the present. I'm just doing me, all right? And I struggled to even get my head around that I was playing a different character. So they gave me 24 hours, not even. I would say they gave me like 18 hours before the audition. They sent me the script and they gave me 18 hours to learn it until I had to be in there. And I had a radio show that night. I think that was the day that I did the podcast with Radio Mike. And I was busy all afternoon. So during the songs on the radio show, I was reading the script, trying to learn like 4 pages of script that I'd never seen before. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, you don't even want to be an actor. Like, it's so weird. It's like, I don't know if you guys have ever gone for like a job interview that you're like, I don't want this job. Not that I wouldn't take it or I didn't know what the money was like, but you're just going because you're going. I was like, I'm just here because I got invited, and I was like, could be a good meme. And I'm going to say, the character I was playing was whiter than me. Alright, I'm not going to say the character's name because, again, can't say that. Let's give it a fake name. Let's call it Humphrey, right? So I was playing this character called Humphrey. And Humphrey is, believe it or not, whiter than me, right? I had to learn the word Pinot Noir And obviously when I read Pinot Noir because I can't speak. And when I pronounce things, I think the correct term is I pronounce it phonetically. That may not be the right word, but the word I'm trying to use is is it phonetically? It means that you pronounce it as it's spelt. So it's spelt Pinot, and to me that's Pinot. But it's pronounced Pinot Noir. Cool silent T. Get out of here, you fucking Pugot, alright? That's another thing I found out. I don't know if I talked about this on the podcast. Did I talk about this yet? Oh, guys, this is breaking news. I found out on the radio show, I wouldn't have talked about this yet, because I found out in the last 2 weeks. I found out on the radio show during the week, or last week, that Peugeots are not pronounced Peugeots. So fuck everyone for saying, oh, it's pronounced Peugeot, dickhead, Pugot. You know what it's pronounced? You want to know? The correct pronunciation is Peugeot. Yeah, I was still wrong, but I got the Pew part right. Just didn't nail the Jo. Alright? I went got instead of Jo. I was 50% right. Alright? All these people, oh, it's Peugeot. I was literally, mathematically, just as correct as you were. Alright? You got per wrong. You got the je right. Alright? You got the Jo. But I got the Pew right. Didn't get the Jo. Went with got. Alright? We both had half the word right. It's actually Peugeot. Someone called up the radio station and literally corrected us on air. It was like this call was like, hey, guys, you keep saying Peugeot, it's Peugeot. And it blew my fucking mind. I just was like, no. Because I thought I'd be saying Peugeot wrong for 18 years. And then that was 4 years ago. And then for the last 4 years, I've been saying Peugeot wrong. It's Peugeot, not Peugeot. I like that I talked about that passionately for 3 minutes, like anyone cared. I mean, there's probably a subcategory of car nerds right now going, thank God, who haven't bothered to correct me for 4 years, listening to me say Peugeot and going, yeah, look, he's close enough. I'll just let it go. Guys, it's Peugeot. I keep saying it wrong because it's going to take me a while to process. Now, it's going to take me like a year to even process that information, but that's crazy. Anyway, so my audition, I'm so easily distracted. I went for this audition, and it was wider than me. I had to say Pinot Noir, and I had to use the word opulent. I was like, honey, so it was a 25-year-old character. I'm not 25. I don't seem 25. I'm not very mature, right? I just laughed like 15 minutes ago about Amy Shrek, alright? So, I'm not a 25-year-old guy who drinks Pinot Noir and uses the word opulent in a sentence, right? That's not me. So I was acting hardcore. But the problem is, I can't act. I can't do it. I always play myself. You've seen my videos. I'm funny. I can write good jokes, and I can often deliver my own material the way I envision it. But someone else's script that I haven't written and only have seen for 18 hours, but really half an hour, accumulative in between the songs on my radio show. I offered so little to that character, I was laughing throughout the audition. So I rock up to this place, right, and it's kind of my first impression was oh, this is porn. I walk into a room, there's a couch, there's a camcorder on a tripod, and a completely blank white room. There's a seat over one side for doggy style, and I just was oh, this is exactly what I thought. It was it was a legit thing as well. The people who are casting it have done heaps of huge shows, household name shows that you'd all know. So it was it was a legit place, but I was oh, this is what every casting room is like. It's just the most basic shit, and I thought it was going to be more a let's get to know you, an interview. Not at all. It was hi, Luke. Yep, great. All right, cool. So you've got the scene there, and action. And I was oh, are we going? And he's yep, it's recording. And I'm okay, great. cool, I'll just start it. So I'm in a car in the scene and he goes, cut. And I was like, yeah, no shit, cut. I'm still trying to work out where I am. I was like, I'm still trying to work out if I'm about to get fucked or not. Is this... Like, what do you mean? You can't just bring me into a room and be like, and action. I've never acted before. That's like if you've never ever used a chainsaw and you rock up day one of being a lumberjack. Not even. You rock up to the job interview of being a lumberjack and he's like, alright, let's go. There's a big 40-foot tree there and make sure it doesn't hit the house. There's the chainsaw and action. And you're like, so I just rev it or... Is the cancel cool with it? So, sorry, cut. Because it's a tree. That's good. That was a good accidental joke. But you guys get it. Who just asked someone to start? No context. And I was like, oh, I've never really done this before. And the guy's like, right. And I was like, okay, maybe, cool. Anyway, it was fine. Look, it didn't go great. I'll be honest. Like, I was laughing during it because I was just like, man, this is going to be so funny on my podcast. I was playing like this fancy ass white dude who was very like posh and particular about things, and I guess I was a bit cheeky in the script or whatever. But the main thing is, I'm like, I'm not this guy, right? There was a guy who talking about chakras, and I was like, is that how you pronounce it, or is it chakras, right? I don't know what I'm saying right now, so I'm reading the script right, but he's like, oh, try and learn the script so you're not looking at the paper. So I'm trying to pretend that I know this script that I don't know, and I'm looking at the camcorder, pretending the camcorder is a character in a TV show that hasn't even been made yet. I'm like, I don't have this kind of imagination. I don't know how actors do it. I don't know how actors live like that. Because here's the thing. To be honest, I didn't give a fuck if I got the role or not. I didn't care. I kind of just went for the experience, the story, just to find out what being an actor is all about. Because I like trying new things, right? And it's somewhat in my field of comedy, right? So I was like, and also, say if I got a TV show role on the off chance, I was like, great, cool. That's a new life experience that, you know, that I can talk about on stage, right? Because I'm always looking for bits. And I was like, yep, I'm going to go to this audition. Why not? So... But what was I saying? I've completely lost my train of thought. Dude, I don't know why people listen to this podcast. I was on a real good train of thought. Anyway, I went to this audition and... I've lost it. I have no idea what I was saying. Great. Move on. Do other podcasts do this? Do you guys listen to other podcasts and go like... I think that's the appeal. I was talking to people during the week about my podcast, and it's awesome to like meet people. I met a few people on the street who are like, "Hey man, I love you. I listen to your stuff, and I love the podcast." I was like, "Oh, that's so cool," and I was like, "I just want to know why. Why do you love the podcast?" And they're like, "I don't know," because they're like, "Look, I'll be honest, like you're not good at podcasting." I'm like, "Oh, I'm fully aware of it." He goes, "But at the same time, though, it's my favorite podcast." And I was like, so I am good at podcasting. And they go, no. You're terrible. That's why I fucking love it. And I'm like, yeah, that's... You know what? I'm starting to get people around me who get the appeal, right? Because I was thinking about this during the week with, people... I was talking to someone during the week about, like, how singers and artists, just, like, people in the public eye always go, oh, my God, I have the best fans. Like, I love my fans. Like, Taylor Swift's always like, my fans are the best fans. And then Ariana Grande's like, no, my fans are the best fans. And like, it keeps going round and round. You know, Pink's like, no, my fans are the best fans. And it gets to me, and I'm like, my fans are the shittest fans. Hands down, that's why I fucking love them. Don't get me wrong, I love you guys, but you're not the best fans. You're the shittest fans. That's why I love you. I'll give you one example. If you're offended right now going, but Luke, I listen to your shit all the time. I'm the best fan. Nah. That means you're the ultimate shittest fan. This is what a guy did. During the week on Snapchat, a guy sent me a Snapchat of him at Reese Maston's concert in Albury wearing a suit and chanting good night. right? Reese wasn't playing Goodnight. He was just singing the lyrics to Goodnight from, like, during one of Reese Massen's other songs. And then at the end, he got a photo with Reese like that. And I was like, how come you're wearing a suit? And he's like, oh, well, on the radio show, you and Lewis always suit up when Reese comes in. So had to obviously suit up for Reese. And I was like, the guy went by himself, I think, to the show. He suited up for Reese Maston in Albury. That's the shittest fan. That's why I love you guys. That's so garbage that it was the best thing I've been sent all week. Like, that's what I mean. It's hard to explain, but I feel like I'm finally getting people who get it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, it's funny because it's a bit shit, but it's good, but it's shit. It's good, but it's not. That's my whole appeal. I realized that recently. I was like, oh, people like me because I'm just a boy giving it a go. And there's bloody nothing. I'm the boy next door. You know what I mean? That's my whole appeal. I'm just a guy out there doing his best, and people are like, yeah, good on him. And I think that's the appeal of this whole thing, of just the because you know what? I think one time I tried to make the podcast look better, and it didn't go as well. People were like, I just didn't feel right, man. Make it shit. Like, right now, if you're watching the video version of the podcast, because I upload these to videos now, if you're watching the video version of this, you're probably thinking, Luke, this is great lighting. You look really clear. I have no problem with this. And you're probably hating it. And I'm sorry, alright? Go put on a suit, find out where Reese is playing next, and go to some garbage, alright? Because Reese's show is unreal, but rocking up in a suit because Lewis and I did it once or twice, that's a dank meme. That's really good stuff, guys. Well done. And also, I'm glad you guys enjoyed the Radio Mike episode last week. That was super fun to do, and it was so funny just hearing Mike during the week just go, hey, man, has the podcast been received? I was like, yeah, I think it's being received well, man. He's like, great. He goes, any comments? And I was like, mate, all right. That's the most Mike shit ever. Anyway, he's a lovely boy. I love him. But yeah, thank you, Mike, for joining me. It was super fun. Did I finish covering off the audition? I think I lost my train of thought. I started talking about me being garbage, you guys being garbage, then Mike being garbage, and now... yeah, the audition... I don't know what my point was before. I completely forgot. I'm really sorry about that. But, yeah, my point was, like... I think I was talking about getting new life experiences, and yeah, I was just there for the meme pretty much, and I didn't give a fuck if I got it, which made it super easy. Like, I was just laughing throughout. I was having fun during it, because I was so... Oh, that's my point. I remembered my point. I don't get how actors can live their life that way. I don't get how... See, that's what I was talking about. So I was there for the life experience and the meme, right? I was there just because it was like, this could be fun, right? But if I actually was... If me getting that role determined whether I eat or not over the next month, that I would have been a nervous wreck, and it would have sucked, and it would be horrible. So I immediately had instant respect to any, like, upcoming actors out there who are going to auditions, not getting callbacks continually. I was like, that's brutal. Like, I didn't really care if I got the role or not, because I've never really had any ambition or desire to do that. But, like, you know, because I got radio and stand up, and honestly, I don't even know if I would have had time to do the shoot. But, like, if you were literally, that's all you did, and you're like, I really need to get a role, and you were just auditioning for, like, everything, I would have hated that, because the environment was not enjoyable. Like, it was me and a guy in a room with a camcorder, and I felt like everything I did was being judged and literally recorded on a camera, and people in suits are going to watch it and be like, nah, yep, that was good, nah, didn't like that, next person. I just, like, knew that I was like, oh my god, like, thank god I'm not an actor or an actress. I don't know how you guys do it, but respect if there's any actors or upcoming people watching, that was, I gained a lot of respect for that industry. Because people was like, it's such an easy job. And I used to think that too, because I'm like, they don't write their own shit. They just read other people's lines. It was really hard for me to give a fuck about lines that someone else had written. Like, the guy was like, mate, now this scene's a bit punchy, it's a bit snappy, so let's try and make it funny. And I'm like, yeah, like, it's hard because I didn't write it, so I don't know what the rhythm, what they intended, what tone the character was. Like, I get he's being sarcastic, but how was this in... You know what I mean? Often the best jokes are the best jokes because the delivery is bang on. It's hard just reading the transcript of something and going, boom, 10 out of 10 comedy. But I gave it a crack, and that was super fun. So, yeah, I'm going to go with saying, I can say definitely now that you will not be seeing me on Channel 10 anytime soon. That I definitely didn't get the role. So, but it was very fun, and it was super. It was a challenge playing someone whiter than me. Like, speaking of white, right? I've been listening to a lot of rap music, right? That I don't really understand, but I participate in because culture, and I'm trying to fit in. So I'm just looking for my water bottle here. I'm bloody thirsty. So I don't know if you guys have heard this new song, right? It's by the Carters, which is like Jay-Z and Beyonce, right? And I cannot deal... I'm going to have to turn my phone off airplane mode now, so now I'm going to have to read more garbage about Amy Shrek. But I'm getting up the song now, right? You guys might have heard this song, and I forgot how many artists, like... Sorry, no, not artists. Like, how many rappers just do that noise, like do noises in the background? I'm sick of rappers making noise in the background of songs. I don't mind them rapping or contributing to the song, but skirt, scooch, 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 doesn't add anything. Literally, I listened to this song, alright? I don't know where it comes in. So, I don't mind that. See, that's what Jay-Z was doing then. Like, she was like, we want to roll the weed. He's like, roll the weed. Like he's saying, it's not great, but he's contributing to the song, right? That was good. Give me that vitamin D. That was him giving her the D. Wait. That's another thing I have with this song. The beat of the song is Jay-Z going, yeet, 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 yeet. Is it him saying yeet or yeah? Because it sounds like him going, yeet, 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 yeet. Yeet, 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 yeet. Yeet, yeet, yeet. Oh, get to the scourge. Are you ready? What is that at? Hey, shit. Rah! That was Beyonce then. So he was like, in the background, right? Jay-Z went, and then she's like, have you ever seen a crowd going ape shit? Rah! It wasn't even like a good roar. Like, if you're gonna roar, give a Katy Perry roar. But don't go, rah. That adds fuck all to the song, man. Scooch, scooch. Did you hear that? Scooch, scooch, scooch. That's my favorite. See, rah! And then... Scooch, scooch, scooch. Dude, this is what I don't get. That, like, people don't even question it. Why is no one questioning that? No one's talking about this. No one's like, everyone's like, yeah, Jay-Z and Beyonce dropped a song together. Isn't that cool? It's like, yeah, Beyonce dropped a song. And then except for Jay-Z's verse, all he did was scooch, 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 and yeet, yeet, yeet. My favorite is the skirt. Look, I can't find it, but... Oh, there it was. Are you ready? This is the skirt. Dude! Scoot, 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 skirt! Really? That's what music is. I mean, I love the song. It's a banging track. Do not get me wrong, alright? I love Jay-Z, love Beyonce, love it when they combine. But scoot, 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 that could have been left out, I reckon. I reckon like they had the whole song and they'll listen back to it and Jay-Z's like, who's probably just like, yes, this is how it happened. You know this is how it fucking happened, right? So they're in the recording studio. They've already laid down the song, right? They've already had a huge fight because he cheated on her. But they're trying to reconcile because they got a kid together. And there's heaps of people on this couch, right? And then Jay-Z is like, hey, play the song again. But he's sick of standing up. But there's no room left on the couch. But he thinks that if people squish up, that then he could sit on the couch to listen to the song again, right? He's like, oh, do we need any minor things? Hang on. Before we see if anything else needs to be added to the song, guys, could you scooch, scooch, scooch over? And then they were like, yo, shit, get the mic, spit that. He's like, what? He's like, what you said then? He's like, move over. No. Scooch, scooch, scooch. And he's like, oh, shit. And then to make it authentic, when they recorded it, they probably actually got people to scooch as he said it. So, like, they got people in the way of the mic so that he was like, scooch, scooch, scooch. And he made it to the mic by the third scooch. That's how it happened. I bet you anything. Alright, I will not put any money on that. But I'm confident, alright? But if I did that in my comedy, say if I made noises, right? That's what the thing that gets me. It's like people always compare music to comedy. And there are a lot of similarities. Like performing to people, it's a similar art form, right? But, dude, if I just started going scooch, scooch, scooch in between jokes, like he does in between a song, and skirt randomly, that would ruin the whole flow of the joke. Because I don't mind when they go like, hey, or oh, or like, let's do it, or DJ Khaled, Jason Derulo, what? Turn it up. DJ, hit that. I don't mind that. Alright? Hey, I get it. You're trying to contribute, you know, you got to pay the bills somehow. Totally cool. Keep it in the song. It adds a little bit of hypeness, you know? But scooch, 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 that's not a word. Alright, skirt. Who are you? A car? Skirt. It sounds like a rusty piece of metal hitting like another rusty piece of metal. Skirt. What? If I did that during a joke, right? So what's a bit that some people might know? Alright, so say the VCal bit, right? You guys might have seen that on my Facebook page. So I'm like, I actually got to know Jathan. And turns out his mum was in prison. And he didn't have a father. Skirt! Right? And he's been raised by his grandparents. And you know, I'm like, the fact that this kid even comes to school every day is incredible. Urgh! And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to go back into the thing, and I'm going to tell, I'll be honest, I've forgotten the joke, but I'm going to tell, like, Jathan, whatever, after recess, I forget how the joke goes, and I'm like, Jathan, can you do the work? He's like, oh, tell us a joke, bro, skirt! Tell us a joke, man, tell us a joke, Urgh! Ruins the whole flow of the joke. Tell us a joke, fine, I'll tell you a joke, skirt! Knock, knock. Oh, who's there? Urgh! Not your mum. Scooch, scooch, scooch. You can't do that shit, alright? It's annoying. Alright, I'm sorry, it's a great song, but every time, scooch, scooch, scooch. Where is it? Scooch, scooch, scooch. Alright, that's enough, Jay-Z. Alright, stop, scooch over, alright? Put some new lyrics in. He should have scooched them lyrics off the album. Alright guys, we'll do questions and then we'll bloody wrap it up. So yeah, and let me know what you guys want to do for episode 100. Shoot me an email, Snapchat, Instagram, whatever. I'll add some of your suggestions if I'm thinking it's good. Think outside the box. If you want to celebrate something we've done on the podcast in the past, if you want something we're currently doing, maybe it could be a crazy sock meetup and we all just record the podcast from somewhere. Crazy socks. Like, if you guys want a live podcast and you'd be interested to come, like, that's the thing. Don't be like, yeah, do a live podcast. It's only fun if people rock up. If no one rocks up, then it's just me in a room. It's just this, right? But I've booked a venue, right? right? So let me know if you'd be interested in coming to that, and I guess I'll start working out venues and maybe where and when that will be, and what that will entail. So yeah, give me suggestions of what you want to hear. It could be an idea to bring back something. Obviously, we'll have to do a live fun fact, of course. We haven't done one of those for a while. But yeah, just stuff like that in episode 100. It's because this podcast has been like, what a journey. Like this podcast has been, and to everyone who's stuck around the entire time, I want to celebrate that with you guys, because I feel like this is, like, the podcast is easily the least watched and appreciated thing I do. Well, that's not true, actually. It's the least watched thing, but it's probably one of the most appreciated things for how many people watch it, and listen to it and stuff, and I guess enjoy it. But yeah, if you got any ideas, episode 100, let's make it a big one, alright? Let's knock it out of the park. Scooch, scooch, scooch. So it's not good if I just bring it in conversation either. Really, scooch, scooch, scooch holds no value in chat. General discussion, general vocabulary. Should never throw in a scooch, scooch, scooch. Ruins the whole flow of the conversation. I didn't even know what I was talking about. Alright, I'm going to do questions now anyway. Alright, this is from Martin Edwards. Hey Luke, this is another one. As your 100 podcast is coming up, I was wondering if you were going to do a live podcast or something special for it. Alright, I've already talked about that. You let me know, Martin. What do you want, man? All of you let me know. Hey Luke, love your shit. Keep it up. My name's Bryce. And then in brackets it says, actually holding back the urge to say my name, Jeff. And thanks for holding back the urge, man, but you still included it in the brackets, which I guess is my fault for reading. And I live in Tasmania. Would love to see you down here when you decide to tour down here. Yeah, I mean, I've never actually been to Tasmania, only because I just worry about, like, I don't know, you know what, I should just book a show there, because I was worried about people, like, coming in Canberra and then it's sold out, so I'll just, let's say a tentative yes for Tasmania sometime next year, man. Hope to see you there. Got a couple of things to ask you, mostly based on Savoys. Great, my favourite type of discussion. Actually, I'm pretty sure the subject for this email was just, Savoy boy, you need to see this, which immediately got my attention. So if you want to get my attention with one of your podcast emails, probably just do something clickbaity in the caption of the email, or the subject, whatever you want to call it. He said, firstly, what do you think of cracked pepper Savoys? Picture attached. Thank you. I mean, I am a Savoy boy, mate. I'm familiar with the cracked pepper, but really appreciate you attaching it nonetheless, because I do like gazing upon a premium savoury bicky. He said, I personally think that they're alright, but I would definitely prefer the normal Savoy over them. Hey Bryce, I couldn't agree more, mate, and I think many Savoy boys out here feel that way. Do you guys have, like, other people, let me know during the week, do people have cracked jats? Like, we have, cracked pepper jats? Because we have cracked pepper Savoys, and my personal opinion is, I don't rate them. Now, I don't want any hate. Oh, but Luke, you're a Savoy boy, you should rate all Savoys. I'm white as well, okay? Often people forget that, okay? Pepper makes my tongue sting, alright? A low to mild curry makes me go, and water, right? So, cracked pepper Savoys that's, for me, for someone who often gets the flavour tangy confused with spicy, cracked pepper Savoys aren't my jam, okay? It's too spicy for me. I know there's people laughing right now going, lol, can't even eat pepper. Yeah, I can't. I don't like it, okay? It's got a weird taste and it makes my mouth sting, alright? So, anyway, that's my thoughts on cracked pepper, man. I'm too white for cracked pepper, believe it or not. Cool. Got a couple. Okay, that's the. And secondly, on the next bit, this guy just made like a Savoy video, which I watched. He's like, I sent you the Savoy video. I worked really hard on it for school. So yeah, he made some like Savoy video for media. I checked it out. It was sick, man. I liked it. And just a quick question, what's your thoughts on having to pay 20 cents for cutlery at a canteen? For cutlery? That's almost worse than sauce. I mean, it's not as... Nah, probably worse. 20 cents for plastic cutlery. It comes with the meal. Don't serve a meal and then not offer people the utensils to consume it. You think they're fucking dogs? You think they're just gonna get in there, like give that food like a... What do you mean? 20 cents for cutlery. I think you understand my thoughts on that, Bryce. That's horse shit. Alright? Anyway, he said, I hope you enjoyed the email. I did, Bryce. Thanks very much. Moving on. Dude, that's ruined my day. 20 cents for cutlery? Get the fuck out of here. Unless you get to keep it and it's metal, maybe. But, whew, disposable shit? Nah. This is from Kayla. This is an update from 2 weeks ago. Kayla, you may remember, had a crush on her work friend, and she was essentially like, hey, do I go for it or will it be awkward? And I think my advice was, look, I don't recommend to shit where you eat. It could get awkward, but at the same time, if both of you are into it, then I've seen it work out in the past. So I think I ended up saying, look, Kayla, go for it and then deal with the awkwardness. But I did warn her. I said it will be awkward if it doesn't work out. This is the update. Let's see how it went. First off, my Shackers shirt came in the mail today, and I popped a Shackers' celebration. Hey, great to hear, Kayla. There's still merch left online, guys, if you want to get that shit on my website. The Shackers shirts and leftover posters from the tour. I think there's one medium left, but then all the other sizes, there's a few. So go check that out. Anyway, I'm writing to update you on the work love story I sent in last week. Basically, this love lane was a dead-end street. Nothing interesting happened. He just turns out to be a bit cocky and annoying, which turned me off him pretty quickly. So the guy fucked it. It's safe to say that the friend zone wall has been built and is standing strong. Thanks for your good advice, even though I never got the chance to use it. Can't wait to come to Oz and see you perform live. Thank you very much, Kayla. Hope to see you at a show one day. Although, do not feel pressured to come from overseas to my show. A guy did that. A guy came to my Sydney show from New Zealand. I don't know if I mentioned that on the podcast. That was crazy. So thanks to that guy. Alright, hi Luke. So thank you for the update, Kayla. I'm sorry it didn't work out. These are just mainly updates. I think... Oh, this one's weird. Okay, I didn't really get any good life advice questions this week. This one is one of the strangest emails I've ever got. Like, sometimes I'll get questions, but other times people will literally just send me information with no context and go, anyway, man, see ya. And this is one of those. This one just freaked me out during the week, okay? So, it's, hi Luke, please keep me anonymous if it's going to the podcast. Well, this definitely is, because it's the weirdest email I've been sent in ages. I'm going to call you Humphrey as well, alright? I'm not sure if this is a well-known fact. This is how it starts. No context, just bang, straight into it. I'm not sure if this is a well-known fact, but I recently learnt in psychology class that Komodo dragons have simple minds, that they cannot process multiple stimuli at once, or they will essentially have a fit, a short circuit. So he's just emailing me facts about Komodo dragons. I don't think I've ever talked about Komodo dragons on this podcast, and it's also not a fun fact. So, unless you've misinterpreted what I find fun, alright? But so far, no one has died. I mean, a Komodo dragon having a fit, there's a little bit of joy to that, maybe. For example, if they hear and see something particularly complex at the same time, they just have a seizure. When I heard this fact, I immediately thought of the Sultana-brained people from Love Island. Please note that I have done zero research on this fact and can't be bothered to do so because I'm a lazy and it's school holidays. Love your work. Absolutely coming to next year's Melbourne show. Thank you very much, Humphrey, to whoever sent that in. I guess there was a point to it at the end that was like, here's 4 lines of Komodo dragon facts. Also, this relates to something you briefly discussed on your podcast once. Alright, bye. Podcast fans are like the most, podcast fans like think, you know what I mean? Like you get people on the radio show who would just give you immediate feedback on whatever you've talked about. Like podcast fans will take away one thing you said on the podcast and then think about it for 3 days, hear a fact about a Komodo dragon and be like, that's like what Luke said on the podcast on Tuesday. I must email him immediately. It's awesome. Thank you very much. And you're right. If people in Love Island hear 2 different things at once, some of them do have a seizure. I've watched the show and it's funny watching them having a fit when they're just trying to process like how to put on makeup but also eat a banana at the same time, and it's just like dead. Right. Before I go, I talked about this like 3 or 4 weeks ago and I forgot to ever speak about it. When I went to Brisbane, I was talking about going to visit Josh Wade before so Josh Wade is a past guest on my podcast. Listen to that podcast if you haven't already. It was about 5 episodes ago maybe. And it was such an awesome chat. We talked about what he's doing now, and you may have heard in that chat that Josh is running a tour promotion / marketing / I guess tour management company at the moment, as well as doing lots of other things in the marketing world and advertising with his buddy Sam. It's called Verve Network, and they are killing it. And I guess I wanted to talk to you guys about, I always like to keep you guys updated in what I'm doing, business-wise as well as performance-wise, because I think, I don't know, I just like that. I'm just transparent with what I'm getting up to behind the scenes, and I guess that's why a few of you listen to this podcast. So for anyone who cares, I'm now about to talk about my plan, I guess my business plan for the next few months, or if not year, next couple of years, which involves Josh quite heavily. For anyone not, guys, that's the end of the podcast, but if you want to hear about this, then hey, keep listening. So, yeah, what happens is, after, I would say just before my tour this year, so after we got the radio gig, it kind of all starts when I got the radio gig, right? So October last year, obviously you guys know, my life completely changed, right? It got crazy, and I guess I've talked a bit about that on the podcast, so I won't get too far into it, but obviously then with, I guess, a small level of success in other people's eyes, I guess, really nothing seemed to change for me except I was busier, but obviously when you get brought into the biggest radio station in the country, it starts to turn a few heads, right? So me and Lewis and have both been individually messaged by lots of big management companies. I've got approached a fair bit for individual stuff with, like, again, casting directors. That was one recently, but like with tour management and stuff. Like, I'm not going to say who they are, but like lots of I'm going to say like the top 3 biggest comedy management companies in the country were in contact with me, and I went out for meetings with them because, you know, if you don't know, I do everything independently and have been for the last 3-4 years. Ever since you've heard of me, I've been independent. I do my tours by myself. I organise everything. Obviously this year, my girlfriend Emily helped. So yeah, like I've just been doing everything myself pretty much, which is getting a little out of hand. It's hit a point now where we're so busy with all this performance stuff. Like, you know, last week we were doing 4 radio shows a week, a weekly podcast, trying to do videos. I didn't get one out last week, again, because we were super busy. But you know what I mean? Like, we're putting out so much content a week, and there's so much man hours that go behind all that, that it was literally unrealistic to continue pursuing the business side of things all entirely myself. Because at the end of the day, you guys probably noticed that this year I haven't been as regular on YouTube. And I felt like, and that when we got the radio show, we were like, no, we need to keep up online stuff. That's our roots. That's what we love. It has to keep going. And I guess we really did our best, but obviously things slowed down last year for me online. And then because I was spending so much time on the phone to venues, and it's not just one phone call, it's weeks and weeks of penciling in dates, can't do there, and then booking sound techs, then booking you know, like different people who are there on the night, like, and then you got to order merch and merch design artists, and it's a full-time job essentially that I was doing on the side of trying to make videos, full-time radio, and it was my life was crazy, right? So I hit a point where I was getting like lots of offers from big management companies, and they were real tempting because I was absolutely completely fucked, like time-wise. I was like, I can't afford to do this anymore. I'm literally losing money doing this myself now. So I went out for, you know, like to meet with them all, and I heard everyone out, and I really waited up for weeks and weeks and weeks. All through this tour, I'd had like this one thing looming on me, was like, will I sign or not sign, keep doing it independently? I can't do it independently, but I don't want to sign with a management label because I don't want to fuck you guys over, because I don't think many people realize then as soon as I sign with like a huge management company, you start paying $8 booking fees for my shows. My merch has to be more expensive, because if I'm giving a cut 20% to someone else, boom, that gets offset generally with the consumer, right? And I never want to do that to the people who support my stuff, which is you guys. So I really put it off. I put it off for 6 months, right? And it hit the end of my tour, and I was like, okay, I'm having anxiety over this, right? I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do. I can't do my tour next year by myself. And then there was one point where I was like, maybe I can't tour next year. Maybe I just do a year of YouTube, and then 6 months after that of organizing a tour, and see how I go. And I was like, that's stupid. I need to get someone else to do it for me. So then Lewis got someone to do it for him. He's actually a friend of mine, the guy who is helping out Lewis with his tour this year. And I was like, okay, who do I want to do mine? And then obviously I'm very good friends with Josh Wade, and he's someone I trust, and he's been doing this thing. And we talked about, he's been doing Isaac Butterfield's tour, he's doing the Fairbairn Boys tour, he's done Wanless, he's done heaps of stuff, right? And I was like, okay, I trust Josh, he's one of my mates, let's talk to him. And this is what happened. Originally I called him, and I was like, oi man, I need to chat to you about stuff. And I was literally just talking over options with him, right, on the phone. I was just going through how I was feeling, and he was giving me all this amazing advice, right? And then it got to like 45 minutes to an hour into the call, and I was like, anyway, how have you been? And we started chatting about his stuff, and then he's like, yeah, good man, just organising Isaac and stuff. And then I was like, wait. I was like, would you be keen to do my tour? And he's like, yeah, of course. He's like, I just assumed you didn't want anyone doing it for you. And I was like, oh my God. And then that second, all this stress just completely got released. It was like I put my whole life on airplane mode. It was the best feeling. And I was like, oh my God, yes, finally. And then, so I went up to, so they're based in the Gold Coast. Before my Brisbane show, I went up the day before. We planned out my entire tour for next year, where I'm going, what venues I'm doing, how we're going to go about it, marketing strategy, the whole gist. And Zach, who works for Josh's company, and Josh and Sam, I have complete trust in them. And the way they work is, I guess, a little bit different to the big management companies, where to you guys, the reason why I'm telling you this is literally because nothing will change for you. So I am no longer, I'm still independent with everything else I do, except for my tour. My tour will be run by Verve. And when I say run, it's me working with them. Like, nothing, no decision gets made. That's one thing I like about working with them, is everything that gets made has to come through me first. So it's like, we've got this venue, this date, this time, it costs this much. Yes, no. And I'm like, yes, good. That's all I have to do. It's amazing. Instead of getting this time, getting this venue, getting this cost, you know what I mean? That takes weeks. And now, all this time is freed up, which will benefit you guys for videos. So that's my plan. I guess I wanted to let you all know that I'm super excited to be working with them on it. And it's only going to be better for you, because you're going to be seeing more videos. The ticket prices will not go up any more than, like, you know what I mean? There won't be any outside hidden costs and stuff. It'll literally just be same as it always is. Similar type venues, but hopefully obviously bigger and better next year, because every year I try and step it up. And yeah, I'm going to heaps more places next year. They've already booked in. Get on my mailing list if you want to hear about that shit first. And yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. So that is what I'm doing now. I guess It's not really relevant to you, but I always like to be transparent with people as to what I'm up to. Cool. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I will see you next week. Make sure you let me know what you want to do for episode 100. I really want to hear your suggestions, and let's make it a banger. It's 7 weeks away. I think. 6. I don't know. Who cares? Let's do it. Bye.